Hi, I'm Cindy Fairfield and I'm running for Muskegon County Clerk. I wanted to share with you some of my background that may help you understand why I want to have this job. I grew up in southern Ohio. I came from blue-collar roots. My dad was a janitor and there were 5 children. And he wanted to better the life for his children, and so he became an apprentice and became an electrician at GE. Later, he moved to Ford Motor Plant in Batavia, Ohio, where he was an electrician there. He was a proud union member during his working years, but we had it rough. There were times where we ran out of oil in our home and we would have to wear coats around for a week. But he always told us he wanted us kids to strive to make a difference in the world and to have a better life than even the one that he could provide for us. So he promised that if any one of us kids wanted to go to college, that he would find a way to pay for it. And so I really applied myself to reading and doing well in school, and I knew that I did want to go to college and I wanted to make a difference. I chose journalism because I felt like it was an honorable profession where we could do work for the public and really make a difference by watching over things and making sure that government was operating correctly. Of course, we didn't have much funding, but my dad, he was a car collector, and he had all kinds of Mustangs and things out in the barn that he always worked on and wanted to repair. And in order to send me to college, he sold his '49 Ford convertible. It was his prized possession, and it really touched me that he had invested that much in me. And I knew they didn't have a lot of money, and so I really hustled, and I finished my college in 3.5 years, and I double majored. I majored in political science as well as English because I wasn't sure exactly what kind of journalism I wanted to do. I did join a newspaper in Texas right out of college, decided to go there, and I had never been to Texas, but I thought it was a neat state. And that's where I met my husband, who happens to be a football coach. Probably a lot of you know him, Dusty Fairfield. I met him. We decided we wanted to come back to the Midwest. He's from Muskegon. He went to Reese Puffer. He came here. He became a teacher and a coach. He's a very great coach, but he's an even better teacher. And I got a job at the Chronicle as a part-time sports writer. I eventually became sports editor of the Chronicle, then I became projects editor, and then I became managing editor. And then I'm proud to say that I became the first woman editor at the Chronicle in nearly its 200-year history. And I think I did that through my work ethic, and I think I did that through my leadership. I was able to manage over 50 employees during my tenure at the Chronicle, and we were able to create teamwork with the work ethic that I had, and we were able to do projects, and they trusted in my leadership, and they trusted that I would make decisions that would be good for our newspaper. I left the Chronicle in November of last year, and I decided to run for county clerk. There are many reasons why I wanted to run. One is I enjoy serving the public. I think I have good ideas. I'm a person who likes to be challenged, and when I am challenged, I like to find solutions to issues and problems. And the county clerk's office is a very difficult office. It has many, many mandates that have to be done. And so it needs a person who is very organized, who knows how to work with other departments, how to work with staff, how to motivate people, and most of all, how to be of service to the public. Because that is truly who we are serving. When you become a government worker, you're not there just to earn a paycheck. You are there to make sure that the public has the services as quickly and efficiently as possible. While editor of the Chronicle, there were a few issues that concerned me, that I had problems with the current clerk's office. And one of those problems was in the disbursement of public information. I'm a real advocate of public information. I believe that the more information that we have and the more information that is put in citizens' hands, the better decisions that we can make and the more successful we are as a community. One of those issues had to do with, for many years, decades on end, we had been receiving marriage and divorce listings from the clerk's office. All of a sudden, our current clerk decided she wasn't going to furnish those anymore. I personally am not a big advocate of looking at this, but citizens want to have that information. And as editor, I was a representative for their interests. And so I called the clerk's office and I said, why can't we have these anymore? And she said that she didn't want to single out the Chronicle and give us information that she wasn't giving to other people. And I thought that's an odd thing when a media group is able to be the conduit to the public. At that time, we were reaching 1 out of 2 readers in our county. And as you know, our county is very large. We have over 170,000 people here. Why wouldn't you use a media resource that was willing to print that information for you? But she kind of dug in her heels and said no, she wasn't going to give those to us. I filed a Freedom of Information Act because other clerks had been giving us this material. Certainly Ottawa County, Oceana, Newaygo, nobody else seemed to have an issue with this, but she did. So I filed a Freedom of Information Act request. And the response was disturbing to me because it was about 15 pages of literary, got the lawyers involved. And it came down to this. The clerk may provide that information, but the clerk doesn't have to provide that information. So we weren't able to get that information, but I thought to myself, if I were clerk and we had things that we could provide to our citizens that would take very little work and very little time and effort, why wouldn't we want to do that? So that was kind of my first red flag on whether we're doing enough for our citizens. Second red flag was when the public computers were removed from the circuit court office. These computers were there for people to look up files, whether it be attorneys or citizens. Let's just say that I'm a parent and my daughter is dating somebody that, I'm just not sure about. Maybe I want to go up there. Maybe I want to see if this person has a record or what kind of background that person has. Before you could go up to the circuit court office and you could walk in and there were monitors there where you could go and look up a person's name and find out, what kind of background they had. All of a sudden, these computers disappeared. And I don't understand that because there was a heavy need for them. People were lining up at counters, and now what you have with these computers disappearing from the office is you've put more work on staff, you've put more work on your customers and your clients, and you've basically sequestered public information. And I don't like that, and I think that's something that is definitely needs to be returned to the office. That was my second red flag. Then my understanding as I looked more into this county clerk's office is there were many weeks and many hours on end where the office got so backlogged in filing that it closed its office to the public during key business hours. Could be from 8 a.m. to noon, and this would happen for weeks on end. Now I'm thinking, if I'm somebody who has to do business with the clerk's office and I work 9 to 5, I may have to take a vacation day or I may have to take off work unpaid to go take care of my business. How frustrated would I be to drive down to the county clerk's office to take care of my business only to find the offices are closed? And this happened many, many times, and that is just unacceptable to me. The public comes first. You take care of your internal filing on your own time. We should never, ever limit our customers' access to our files.